Welcome back to the show. 3 ways I unfucked my productivity. Here's what you need to know. Number 1, environment. I spent the past 6 months sitting downstairs on a fucking wooden plyo box at a desk that was slightly too high in a cold fucking gym, distracted, unable to focus, unable to get anything done. I moved up here to my office, which was here the whole fucking time, and I have never been more productive than I have within the past week or 10 days since I've done that. So what do you need to do? Work on your environment. Look around you. Are you distractible? Is there shit everywhere? Is there fucking kids running about? Are you in a coffee shop? Is there a way that you can make your environment more conducive to being productive? The thing that I found about that is having a specific space to do a specific thing has been hugely beneficial. The gym is for doing gym moves. It's for training. It's the place that I go to train. Up here is where I do work. This is the space that I work in, and having those separate has been hugely beneficial. So we think about your internal environment and your mental headspace. There are things that I do physically here that I have transferred into mentally whenever I get home. So at the end of the day, I'll clear the entire desk and get rid of all the shit that's here, whether it's bottles or cups or coffee cups or whatever. On my desktop, I will clean my Mac and clear all the shit off that as well, so it gets cleared. Thinking beyond like physical spaces or internal spaces is also like the people that you surround yourself with. And I think this is one benefit that we have in terms of the people we have within the community and within the team. It is people who want to support you, the people who are on a similar or the same journey, and the people that want to actively do things that make themselves better. If you're surrounded by people who are negative, or they're questioning everything, or they're giving you these are all my problems but I don't have a solution for it, that's going to wear you down and wear you down. Whereas if you're in a space with people that want to better themselves, it's going to allow you to then become that person and be a product of that environment. If we go back to the phrase, how you do one thing is how you do everything, and we talk specifically about environment, if you have the discipline to keep your environment clean and tidy and not a complete shit show, that discipline will carry over to every other aspect of your life. Clean up some of the disk space in your fucking internal hard drive. Number 2, your nutrition. Have an understanding of things that fuck your energy levels and things that boost your energy levels. There will be foods that you will just feel like you want to have a nap after you consume them. Bin those off until later on in the day. For me, it's focusing on pushing back my eating window and getting the majority of the stuff done in the morning. When I do start to introduce foods, something that is high protein and high fats, and then I can have my carbs in and around my training window. So for you, what you need to do is have an understanding of the things that impact your energy levels and your ability to think and focus. Quite early on in my coaching career, I realized that if I'm coaching clients back to back in a one-to-one capacity in the morning and I have a big block, I'm better not eating before that, because if I eat at like 5 a.m. and coach from like 6 to 1, I'm fucking starving and distracted by like 9 o'clock. Whereas if I put that eating window off until after I finish with my clients, I'm not distracted throughout the day. I don't really think about food, and then I can start eating later on in the day. So for me, I find that works. I find that I'm more productive before I start to introduce food. If it's a slightly longer work day, the first meal that I have will be something that's high protein, high fat, because I feel like I mentally function a lot better on that. And then I try and keep my carbs in and around my training window, and then for later on in the day. I don't feel like my day has started properly unless I have eggs. And I'll generally have 4 eggs and an avocado or half an avocado. If I'm going to train a little bit closer to that time, I'll have a bagel or some sourdough or something like that. Medium, over easy, half cooked, slightly poached. I like my eggs boiled. The reason that I got into, so I used to eat fried eggs, and this is how Matt and I became friends. A different story for a different time. So every morning, literally at 3:30, like 3:30, I used to cook 4 fried eggs before I walked to work. And it was just 4 eggs in a pan with chili flakes, and I used to do that every single morning. And that was fine. Whenever I started to do boiled eggs, I find that the 6 minutes that it took for the eggs to boil allowed me to get ready. So what I can do is put the eggs on, go get ready, come back, and I can eat them. So yes, at the minute, I like my eggs boiled. Number 3, your sleep. I know that you hear this time and time again, and I was the same. I was like, fuck it, I can survive on 4 or 5 or 6 hours of sleep. If you set yourself a wake time and a sleep time and set yourself boundaries around those things that will allow you to be in the best position to sleep, and you get actually good quality sleep, you will get a lot more from yourself throughout the day. I'm a person that likes getting up early. I always have been. I feel like I'm most productive in the morning. I get the most shit done. That suits me. You may be different. That's okay. What I would say whenever it comes to sleep is the 2 main things that you can focus on are keeping a consistent time that you wake up. So even at the weekends, I'll get up still early and I'll still do the shit in the morning, and not having a consistent sleep time, like the time that you go to bed. And I think the more that you can protect those things, the better that your sleep pattern will be, but also you're better of like your energy levels throughout the day. So if you can follow that same sort of pattern, it means that you're not all over the place in terms of your energy levels throughout the day. Whenever it comes to your bedtime, what you need to do is understand what time you need to wake up at, because you maybe have a job that you need to go to and be there at a certain time. Understandable. Work backwards from the time that you need to go to bed. Set yourself about an hour before that you have no screens, no blue light whatsoever. Beyond that, make sure that you have a room as dark as possible, as cold as possible, without fucking freezing yourself, and with as little noise as possible. Beyond that, further, have a time that you stop eating, because there will be a timeline of your body actually processing and digesting food that will impact the quality of your sleep. And right beyond that, if you take it back probably about 8 hours before you go to sleep, is where you're going to have to cut off caffeine, because that's going to impact the quality of your sleep as well. Just before I go to bed, one thing that I do as well to sort of clear my mental headspace is I do about 20 to 30 minutes of like guided breathwork and meditation, literally just before I go to bed. And what that allows me to do is close out the day, bookmark the day as done, and sort of try and clear my thoughts as much as possible to put me in a space that I'm going to go to sleep. Like this. I use the Oak app. They have a guided sleep breathwork. You do about 5 minutes of breathwork, and then you can pick your flavor of sound. It's like waterfall or rainforest or fire, campfire, whatever. The idea of the process is to clear your thoughts as much as possible, to focus on your breathing, to put you in a position that you're going to fall asleep. It's about 30 minutes long, and I have never seen the end of it. I'm always asleep by the time it's over. I know that this sounds a little bit woo-woo and wanky, and it's a bit airy-fairy, and I agree. There are people who just want to fucking shoot bad guys and play Call of Duty until the hour before they go to bed, or fucking watch Yellowstone when everyone's getting killed. That's not necessarily an ideal state for sleep, and you wonder why you can't fucking get to sleep. So yes, it's a bit wanky, but if you get better sleep and you're more productive to the day, absolutely fine. If it is the mental bandwidth is the thing that you struggle with, one of the coaches that we work with within the WeHack Health community is Sean Doherty. He looks at essentially resetting your entire nervous system, how we can incorporate breathwork throughout the day, whether it's you just need fucking 15 minutes to recalibrate, or different breathworks if you suffer from anxiety and you need something to sort of navigate day-to-day life, or whether it is something in terms of like getting to sleep, or even how to breathe throughout training. Before I was introduced to Sean, I was like, I'm a breathing professional. I'm fucking alive, aren't I? Like, I've made it this far, but there is a lot more that you can do with your breath if you just learn how to tune into it a little bit more. At some of the in-person events that we've ran, we have been on quite impactful breathwork journeys, and they provoke a lot of emotion. And to me, from my first time I was ever introduced to breathwork, it was the most outer body experience that I've ever had in my life that wasn't induced by narcotics, let's say. It is an emotional fucking roller coaster that you can literally control just by managing your breath. So there's a lot more to your breath than you think. So environment, nutrition, and sleep. Like, follow, subscribe for more.